I never believed in fairy tales until I became one. My name is Emma Carter, and 6 months ago, I was a struggling single mom living paycheck to paycheck in a rundown apartment with my 5-year-old daughter Lily. Today, I'm writing this from the guest house of a $30 million estate in Malibu. But before you roll your eyes and click away, let me tell you, this isn't your typical rags to riches story. Because the man who changed our lives, he never planned to fall in love with us. And I never planned to discover his darkest secret, one that could destroy everything we've built together. I met Alexander Reed on the worst day of my life. Little did I know it would become the best. "Mommy, I'm hungry," Lily whimpered, her small hand tugging at my waitress uniform as I frantically searched through my purse for the 3rd time. "I know, baby. Just give me a minute." My voice cracked as panic set in. My wallet was gone, probably stolen during my shift at the diner. Inside was our rent money, already 3 days late. The eviction notice taped to our apartment door this morning wasn't a bluff. I blinked back tears, determined not to cry in front of my daughter. The diner had been unusually slow, and my tips barely covered the bus fare home. Home. The word felt hollow now. "Is everything all right?" I looked up to see a man standing by our table, tall, with dark hair and eyes that seemed to see right through me. He wore a suit that probably cost more than my monthly rent, but there was something unexpectedly kind in his expression. "We're fine," I said automatically, the pride I couldn't afford stiffening my spine. He glanced at Lily, then back at me. "Your daughter looks hungry, and you look like you're having a rough day. Let me help." "We don't need charity," I snapped, immediately regretting my tone. He smiled, not condescending, but understanding. "Not charity. Just one human being helping another. I've had plenty of bad days myself." I almost laughed. This man, with his perfect suit and confident stance, couldn't possibly understand what a truly bad day felt like. "I'm Alexander," he said, extending his hand. "Alexander Reed." I hesitated before taking it. "Emma. This is my daughter, Lily." What happened next changed everything. Alexander sat down, ordered food for all of us, and as Lily happily munched on chicken fingers, he listened, really listened, as I reluctantly shared pieces of my story. Single mom at 23. Deadbeat ex-community college dropout. Dreams deferred. "Where are you staying tonight?" he asked after I mentioned the eviction. "We'll figure something out," I said vaguely. Alexander pulled out a business card and scribbled something on the back. "I have a guest house that's sitting empty. It's yours if you need it." I stared at him, suspicious. "Why would you offer that to a complete stranger?" His eyes clouded briefly with something I couldn't identify. "Because someone once helped me when I had nothing. And because..." He glanced at Lily, lowering his voice, "I have more space than I know what to do with and no one to share it with." Then he smiled, clearly trying to lighten the moment. "So, do you want to move in with me?" "Well, not with me exactly, but on my property?" I forced a laugh, tucking the card into my pocket. "Thanks for dinner, Alexander." "Alex," he corrected. And I meant what I said. "The offer stands." I nodded politely, never intending to call. Men like him didn't help women like me without expecting something in return. I'd learned that lesson the hard way. But that night, as Lily and I huddled in our car in a Walmart parking lot, her small body shivering despite the blankets I'd wrapped around her, I found myself staring at his card. CEO, Reed Enterprises. A Malibu address scrawled on the back. "Mommy, I'm cold," Lily whispered. I made the call. The next morning, I stood at the imposing gates of what could only be described as a modern castle, my heart pounding as I pressed the intercom button. "Hello?" Alex's voice crackled through the speaker. "It's Emma. From the diner. Is your offer still good?" There was a pause that felt like forever. "I'll be right down." The gate swung open, and Alex appeared, dressed casually in jeans and a t-shirt that somehow still looked expensive. His eyes widened slightly at the sight of our packed car. "I thought you might not come," he said. "I thought I might not either," I admitted. He led us through manicured gardens to a guest house that was bigger than any apartment I'd ever lived in. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked the Pacific Ocean. Lily ran from room to room, squealing with delight. "This is temporary," I said firmly. "Just until I get back on my feet." Alex nodded, but something in his smile told me he didn't believe me. "Whatever you say, Emma." That night, after Lily was asleep in a bedroom 3 times the size of our old one, I sat on the patio watching the moonlight dance across the waves. Alex appeared with 2 glasses of wine. "Why are you really doing this?" I asked, accepting the glass. He sat beside me, his gaze fixed on the horizon. "Would you believe me if I said I don't entirely know?" "No." He laughed softly. "Fair enough." Then his expression grew serious. "My mother was a single parent. We struggled. There were times we had nowhere to go." He swirled the wine in his glass. "I promised myself if I ever made it, I'd help others in that situation." "And you've made it big time," I observed. "Money doesn't fix everything," he said quietly. I didn't understand what he meant then. How could I? I hadn't yet discovered the truth about Alexander Reed, that beneath his success and generosity lay a wound so deep it threatened to consume him. Weeks passed. I found a better job at a restaurant closer to Malibu. Alex became a fixture in our lives, helping Lily with her kindergarten homework, teaching her to swim in his infinity pool, bringing me coffee in the mornings just the way I liked it. "You're good with her," I said one evening as we watched Lily chase fireflies in the garden. "She makes it easy," he replied, his smile not quite reaching his eyes. "Alex, what's wrong? And don't say nothing. I know that look by now." He hesitated. "Tomorrow's a difficult day for me. I might not be around much." "Okay," I said, respecting his privacy despite my curiosity. But at midnight, unable to sleep, I found him sitting alone by the pool, an untouched glass of whiskey in his hand and tears streaming down his face. "Alex?" I approached cautiously. He quickly wiped his eyes. "Emma. Sorry, I thought everyone was asleep." I sat beside him. "Talk to me." Maybe it was the darkness or the emotional weight of whatever anniversary he was dreading, but Alex finally opened up. 5 years ago, his wife and 3-year-old son had died in a car accident. He had been driving. "It should have been me," he whispered. "They'd still be alive if I'd just taken a different route." I reached for his hand. "You can't know that. What I know is that I survived, and they didn't. And now I have everything and nothing at the same time." In that moment, I understood why he'd helped us. Lily was the same age his son would have been. His massive home, for all its luxury, was hauntingly empty. "Is that why you offered us the guest house? Because we remind you of what you lost?" His eyes met mine, vulnerable and honest. "At first, maybe. But now." He squeezed my hand. "Now you and Lily are just you. And having you here makes this place feel like a home again." I don't know who moved first, but suddenly we were kissing, desperately, like 2 drowning people who'd found air. When we pulled apart, both of us looked equally shocked. "I should go," I whispered, standing abruptly. "Emma. Good night, Alex." I fled back to the guest house, my heart racing. This wasn't part of the plan. Getting involved with Alex would complicate everything. He was still grieving. I was still healing from my own failed relationship. And Lily, I couldn't let her get attached to another man who might disappear. But as the weeks turned to months, the line between gratitude and something deeper blurred. Alex became more than our benefactor. He became our friend. And despite my best efforts, I was falling for him. "Mommy, can Alex be my new daddy?" Lily asked one afternoon as we baked cookies in his gourmet kitchen. I nearly dropped the mixing bowl. "Sweetie, it's not that simple." "Why not?" "He likes us. We like him. And he has this big house all by himself." Out of the mouths of babes. "Alex has been very kind to us, but that doesn't mean that I want to be your daddy." Alex's voice came from the doorway, making us both jump. How long had he been standing there? Lily nodded solemnly. Alex knelt to her level. "I would be honored to be your daddy, Lily Bug. But that's something your mom and I would need to talk about." My cheeks burned. "Alex." "It's okay," he said, standing. "No pressure. But maybe we could talk. Tonight?" I nodded, unable to form words. That evening, after Lily was asleep, Alex took me to his private beach. Lanterns lit a path to a small table set for two. "What's all this?" I asked, my heart pounding. "Our first official date," he said. "If you want it to be." I hesitated. "Alex, I need to know something first. If Lily and I hadn't come into your life, where would you be right now?" His expression grew serious. "Probably exactly where I was when I met you, successful on paper, empty inside, using work to avoid dealing with my grief. And now? Now I look forward to coming home. I hear laughter in this house again. I'm healing." He took my hands in his. "Emma, I know how this started. I know you might think I just see you as some kind of replacement family. But that's not it. You and Lily are your own people, and I've fallen in love with who you are, not who you remind me of." I wanted to believe him. But there was still one thing holding me back. "I can't depend on you, Alex. I need to stand on my own." "I know," he said. "That's why I talked to my friend at the community college. They have a scholarship for single parents. Full ride, including childcare. You could finish your degree." I stared at him. "You did that for me?" "I did it because I believe in you. Whether you stay here or not, whether you give us a chance or not, that scholarship is yours." In that moment, I knew. This wasn't about charity or replacement or guilt. This was about love, real, messy, beautiful love. I kissed him under the stars, finally allowing myself to believe that sometimes, fairy tales do come true. 6 months later, I'm still in the guest house, but not for much longer. Next week, after I finish my first semester back at college, Lily and I are moving into the main house. Alex proposed last night, with Lily's enthusiastic approval. We're not a perfect family. Alex still has days when grief overwhelms him. I still struggle with accepting help. But we're learning, together, that love isn't about fixing each other's broken pieces, it's about creating something beautiful from them. So if you're watching this and wondering if second chances are real, if strangers can become family, if one act of kindness can change everything, the answer is yes. Sometimes the worst day of your life can lead to the best, if you're brave enough to make that call. If you felt something watching our story, please hit that like button and subscribe to see more real-life fairy tales like ours. And we'd love to know, what country are you watching from? Drop it in the comments below. Because no matter where you are in the world, remember this, it's never too late for a new beginning. Sometimes happiness is just one brave decision away.